5-4 from. I'm watching it go dumb. Titties jiggling, ass wiggling, and my bitch wanna come.
好了，我们呢，等一下比赛准备就要开打，那也请所有球迷、观众朋友们，靠在栏杆上的观众朋友们都可以慢慢的入座了。然后这边再一次的跟各位提醒，相信昨天有来的观众应该都知道，我们呢栏杆上是尽量不要有这个搀扶的动作，因为呢栏杆可能会松掉或什么的，会造成危险。那我们尽量就避免这个动作。然后还没有入场的观众朋友们，还有球迷朋友们，麻烦也帮我们迅速的入座。我们等一下比赛就要正式开始了。
Another bitch right on top, pussy right on your nose. This bitch on freaky shit. She know how to squeeze her dick, but after all is said and done, I'm just gonna leave the bitch. Headed to the strip club, straight to the DJ booth and made a quick dub. Then I got a dick rub. Bitches on my line, they gon' keep trying. But if you wanna shake some ass, bitch, I got time. She got slow work on that pole work. She can stretch that ass, but it don't hurt. Looking like an hourglass, treat them the same with no difference. Look at all that ass on them bad bitches.
If you want it, if you want it, if you really need it, if you really need it. You want me to get it, want me to get it, then say it with your boo. Say it with your boo. Tell me, man. Oops.
It's the end of the month and the weekend. I'ma spend this track, everything on me. Yeah, I'ma take myself.
好的，场上的选手请停止赛前练习。现场的球迷朋友，大家好，欢迎在第5莅临我们的新庄体育馆欣赏我们的今天11月7号华斯利在2021-2022年季前热身赛第2场的重头戏也即将正式开始。今天的对战组合呢，将是由卫冕的富邦勇士队出战我们的地主队新北国王队的精彩的比赛。在休赛季的期间呢，也是球迷最期待的对战组合之一。比赛即将正式开始，双北大战一触即发。
Listen to my money talk, spend how I like it. Yeah, everyone know what I mean. When it's a green, that mean go. Give me what the hell I want. Give me what the hell I want. Check the money making bank account number. That's that shit that's never getting bounced on your bitch. I do the money.
比赛开打之前，首先会介绍的是身着深色球衣的台北富邦勇士登陆球员名单。球衣背号1号林书伟，2号简伟如，14号蔡文成，23号石伯恩，Number 75 75号。德古拉，76号曾文鼎。接着会介绍的是台北富邦勇士先发5人名单，球衣背号8号周桂宇，12号林志杰，13号林梦雪。29号张根玉，球衣背号32号赛瑟夫。接着会介绍的是台北富邦勇士篮球队总教练许晋哲、助理教练吴永仁、江志正、林伟浩、魏维。 介绍的是球衣背号2号177公分后卫林世轩。球衣背号7号后卫林立人。背号。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth, and welcome to the quick turnaround for the third and final game of the first preseason stop in the Plus League season. I'm Ryan Chen, joined by Coach Benjamin Metcalf once again, calling this Taipei Fubon Rays game against the new Taipei Kings. The hosts played their very first game yesterday against the Lioneers, who were victorious in the earlier game today. As we come in introducing the players, we'll have a really quick turnaround before the game to get started. But Coach, you ready to go again?
Well, you know it's good to see the Kings showing up again for another game in front of their home crowd. Everybody's excited.
The Braves were already introduced as they move into the starting lineups. Bring that to you shortly. So in the preseason, of course, there's going to be plenty of adjustments and adapting that the players will do. There are not going to be a lot of imports we don't expect until the season really gets kicked off in December 4th and on. But these coaches and the teams have had to make adjustments in the preseason, not having full access to gyms and their rosters kind of being all over the place because of COVID-19, but things are finally coming together, Coach.
Yeah, again, in this new normal that we have now, everything's different. Again, you mentioned this new team, the Kings. Their general manager, James, putting everything together over the summer, finding players, finding coaches, trying to get imports, trying to get coaches to fly over. It's been a challenge, but again, it was an exciting start for them yesterday. Again, even without their imports, it'll be exciting to see the kind of system that the coaching staff has put in. Again, see how everybody fits in it, and again, that's what the preseason is all about, right?
We'll bring you some of the roster changes throughout the summer, but notably for the Braves, they saw 2 players leave in free agency and only signed one Zhang Genyu, Jackie Zhang, back while trading away their first round pick, Wang Luxiang, to the Steelers. They're not running as deep as they were last season.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that they're going to have to look forward to this year, just getting those new people in there. Again, they've had the deepest roster, and now they're going to have those people have some contributions. Again, obviously everybody knows with the MVP from last year, all their national team members, they've always had the top talents, but as that talent gets older, as that talent moves on to other teams, it's going to be a challenge for Coach Roger and his coaching staff. So today's going to be their first time in this 21-22 season, and it'll be exciting to see how some of these younger players fit in.
But a guy who's not young, Yang Xingzi, the top scorer in yesterday's game with 17 points, was interviewed by the TV broadcast and invited to the post-game press conference here at Xinzhuang Gymnasium. Of course, early in the season, you got to take your ceremonial first pictures around the center jump circle.
You mentioned the imports, Ryan, right there. We see Sam DeGualer and Zaitsev. Obviously one a very familiar place. Both, well, 7-footers. Zaitsev standing next to DeGualer doesn't look big, but I can assure everybody at home, he is also a giant.
Yeah, Zaitsev looks like a small forward. On screen is Eddie Zhang Yaozong and He Souzheng Sam on the Mandarin broadcast. 球迷朋友要看我们的中文转播，按我们的中文转播连接就可以了。Now Amigo introduce, will give some brief remarks to the crowd.
新北这座城市，那在我生涯22年，那这座城市是我的篮球开发的地方。 然后也是在我最后的几年，那我也是选择了这座城市。那过去几个月，我们受到了疫情的影响，然后我们台湾有一群很专业的防疫人员、医护人员，那在他们的共同努力下，那给了我们正常的生活，然后才有今天所有球迷进场的盛况。然后最后我要谢谢所有球迷，那你们用最支持，用行动来支持我们来帮助我们。然后最后我们新北国王一定会拿出最好的表现，然后争取最高的荣耀，来回馈给这座城市还有所有的球迷朋友。谢谢。
最大的帮忙，谢谢我们杨敬敏
Amigo
敏哥
and his remarks saying that New Taipei is his basketball origin stories. So he's back now. He lives in New Taipei nearby. Also gave a shout out to the medical workers who work hard to help Taiwan get to where it is now, currently at alert level 2 and on our way to hopefully to alert level 1. And of course, for the fans to be supportive of them, and he promises the team will play hard for them. Quick look at the starting lineup. 志杰、张根玉、周桂宇、林梦雪 and 蔡瑟夫, your starting lineup. 4 listed forwards. Whereas the Kings will start Li Kaiyan, 简佑哲, Yang Jingming, Li Yingfeng, and Yang Xingzi, 2 guards and 3 forwards. The very first time we heard James Miles speak, he said, "I'd like my team to play 5 out." So here's your test, taking on 2 import centers, at least starting things off with Saisef.
Yeah, we talked about Yang Xingzi there yesterday, playing the 5. Obviously his natural position probably more of a 4. Actually in the past he's tried to move to a 3, but he's going to have a challenge today going up against these 2 imports for the Braves. Again, we saw the Kings going with a little double action in the post yesterday to kind of save some of their bigs, and it'll be fun to see that hit some more today.
In the preseason, the Plus League has the series go into what we call stops. So this first stop in New Taipei, next week in Kaohsiung. Like last season, we started things off in Hsinchu before the Braves hosted, and finally the league hosted the last stop at the time at Taiwan Tida. The tip is up and the Braves control. Ja Zhou Guiyu, number 8. They're trying to work him a little bit as a point guard last season. Zhang Guiyu blocked at the rim by Amigo. He's on the floor making his way back to defense.
Yeah, we see the Braves right off the bat going through the post to create some offense. Saisef probably would be not as aggressive as he normally is going against all locals, but again, he'll be able to initiate everything.
JJ from the outside, off iron. Again, Jackie underneath, loose with the basketball, and looks like an out of bounds.
Yeah, obviously the Kings probably a little more familiar with this court than the Braves. Practiced here a couple times, started out yesterday, and Braves looking a little like they got some work to do to get used to this court.
So the Kings will share this stadium with another pro team, so they had to get all their equipment in during the week. The team practiced here twice. There's a shot disrupted. That's Kyle Li Kaiyan with a miss.
And that's going to be the biggest adjustment that these players are going to have. Again, yesterday with the Lioneers not having any bigs in there, scoring in paint came a lot easier. Today with the Braves putting some 7-footers on the court, these Kings players are going to have to adjust, and adjust very quickly.
Wild pass, Yang Xingzi saving it. Amigo on Zhou Guiyu pulls up off the back of the iron. Here come the Braves. They like to play with a fast pace. And Saisef getting the foul on Xingzi.
And that's something we talked about a lot last season. Again, if you really expect Yang Xingzi to take care of Zaitsev on his own, it's going to be a challenge for him. Again, whether it's that weak side coming in, that strong side putting some pressure on the ball. Again, you got to help out your local bigs against some of these imports.
2 guys double the shooter, forced to miss. No points on the board so far. Shot fake and drive. Jian Youze. Last year played for Taiwan Beer. Trying to find an opportunity with the Kings. Amigo with a step back. Clanks out. They go to Zaisev once again down low. The double comes and he misses the lefty hook.
Yeah, good job by Xingzi to just get in there, put a body on him, force him a little bit out of his comfort zone, but I mean, Big Z just missed the layup there.
Now setting the screen, Amigo. Looks off the shot to the corner. Mason, yes!
Again, nice job touching the paint a couple times on those drives, kicking it to the corner shooter. And Kings finally on the board in tonight's game.
Beast driving on Amigo, finding space on the left side.
And that's the luxury that Zaisev gives you. Again, with the ability to shoot the three as he gets beat there in transition. And he can bring the opposing big out. Opens up the lane for Beast.
Out of bounds, Josh throws it past Beast. Miscommunication there.
That's one of those younger players for the Braves that Coach Rogers talked about, has to take a bigger role. And again, here he's really got the ball in his hands most of the time. And again, that's a pass that he's going to have to learn to make.
The Kings are one of 2 new teams in the Plus League. On April 30th, they had to submit a proposal and start from scratch during the season, kind of like the Lioneers did, with a little bit more time and preparation. Loose ball on the floor. Mengxue Ray getting on top of Xingzi for the tie-up.
Nice job by Ray from that weak side help, cutting off the roll, getting his hands and forcing the jump ball.
We saw the competitive nature of the early game, and they had to swap out the basketballs a few times to get them dried up. We got our first ball change here.
What kind of balls are those, Ryan?
Molten basketballs, very important. Molten basketballs, thanks to our partners. Cayenne with a deep three. Coach, did you see a touch iron? I didn't see a touch iron.
Touched nothing, and Cayenne, he's hoping that his coach didn't see it, not touch anything.
5-2. Only the 1 bucket for the Braves. Like to be a fast-paced team. Offensive foul. Might have been Jackie trying to get Zaisev free. And it is.
Interesting call right there for the refs. Again, Big Z giving the thumbs up, saying don't worry about it. Yeah.
Kind of one of those, like Zaisev squeeze the defender-ish. Make it look like a lot worse.
Yeah, but again, Big Z is going to encourage everybody to set screens for him so he can get the ball. But again, everybody's adjusting now. We're not sure with the new system how these refs are going to call it in this new league or in this new season. So a lot of adjusting for everybody right now.
Meaningful, only 1 for 5 yesterday. Misses that shot as Beast hits the mid-range.
Again, something the Taiwanese basketball fans love to see. Beast going against Amigo. Beast getting the upper hand right there.
Cayenne tries the mid-range off the backboard. He is way off. 3-on-2 behind the back. Jian Weilu, who was hurt for most of the summertime, getting some early minutes. Zaisev trying to go over the top and does over Yang Xingzi.
And that's one of those ones where, again, if you're not going to give any help, you're just going to have to live with that. Again, and that's where we're all going to have to use our imaginations. We're not sure once imports come if the coaching staff from this Kings team is going to have them double the post, help on the post, or just let them go one-on-one. So
Jian Weilu, nice hesitation, but if you can believe it, he airballed the layup. Ray fighting hard, got a foul.
I don't know what I just saw there. Again, beautiful move by Lewis to get in the paint and then airballs the 2-footer. Unfortunately, Ray in there to pick up his garbage and get to the line.
Blanks the free throw. Mengxue signed an extension with the Braves during the offseason. They really like his defensive effort. So I would think that coach on the offensive side has a lot of unfulfilled promise.
And again, that's where you know that when you're putting together this roster, which Chris and Roger have done, and they know that you're going to pair him with a big import. Again, he's somebody that's going to put his body on the line. He's somebody that's going to give you a little active spacing. He's worked on his range a little bit. He can defend some of these imports for a couple possessions, so he's not really somebody that you're going to rely on. So he really fits team-wise into what these Braves are doing.
There's Zaitsev for the easy right and then left.
But again, that's something where we're going to have to see if these Kings are going to make any adjustments or just kind of go one-on-one with that big and live with it.
JJ, thanks to the screen by Mason.
Nice little exchange there in the corner, not a lot of room, but JJ able to hit a tough three.
Zaitsev will take the deep three. Off to the right, and Mason skying high for the rebound.
Yeah, Shing's the happiest person in the building to see Zaitsev step out at the perimeter and shoot that shot.
Amigo through the middle, left alone, but Zaitsev comes down with the board. There's a foul in the steal attempt. Looks like there'll be our first timeout of the game as we'll go to a break. Thanks for watching the Plus League preseason.
小游戏与大家一起同乐进行，就是我们的国王游戏。然后最终的获胜者将可以得到我们精美的奖品。提醒一下，进场我刚才有讲说，只有限额30名的球迷朋友有那个小卡。
You don't. Back here in the arena. Thanks for watching the broadcast. Be sure to leave a like, fans. With the CEO of the league, Charles Chen, sitting next to his wife, Fan Fan, immediately to his right. And the fans, some Zhenzi University fans bringing their signs in support of Omar and Zheng Yuhao. 3 of their players drafted came from Zhenzi University. They had Chen Ziwei, coach Chen Ziwei, on as the color commentator in yesterday's game. So a lot of connections going around.
Yeah, that university has spent a lot of time and effort into Taiwanese basketball. You talked about coach. He's been doing a good job with that university, just putting in a system and feeding them into the professional leagues. Again, it's nice to see some of the lower levels step in and contribute to the development of Taiwanese basketball.
It was just 3 seasons ago, they were playing at the 2nd division, but winning a championship this past season, up against tough competition. One of those players is KJ, Honkai guarding the basketball against Winston. Doing a big on big screen, and Zaitsev held and just missing the roll.
Yeah, but again, we see the Braves going through the post for their offense that time. Like you said it, an interesting 4-5 screen, and off that switch, Zaitsev able to spin his way into a trip to the free throw line.
Zaitsev bounces out the free throw. So it's kind of hard to determine, Coach, but who do you think found their particular import first? The Lioneers found Simbular, or did the Braves find Sam Degara first and sign him?
Is this a trick question?
I don't know. It's just speculation.
I'm going to go with the Braves signing Singletary first.
Oh, okay. That's definitely accurate.
Yeah, again, this year we're trying to get all these imports back into Taiwan. It's been a challenge, so those teams that were able to retain their imports, obviously it's been a huge advantage. We've seen the Pilots tried to keep Davon Reed on the roster after an excellent performance last year, but again, after a nice preseason in the NBA, he decided to stay in the States. So again, starting from scratch for a lot of these teams, it's definitely a challenge for these coaching staffs.
Long rebound controlled by the Braves. Omar is trying to guard Zaitsev, and KJ's quick hands going to stop things for a bit.
And that's where these Braves are going to struggle with no point guard on the court. And again, that time you had Zaitsev on the roll, really a nice scoring opportunity, but again, not a lot of people to pass the ball, be able to get it into him.
Steven Gonchar, number 28 for the Kings, is in as the Braves turned it over. They're coached by Ryan Mershon on the sideline there in all dark. Short shot, but they missed a fast break opportunity, but take advantage. Still a little bit late with the pass.
And that's what you're going to see a lot of with these mismatches. Again, Sungwon Ding sprinting out off the challenge, getting the easy layup, but then the Kings attacking early in transition, getting an easy layup on their own.
That's KJ with the basket, and a little bit of fireworks between Zaitsev and Omar.
Again, and that's the last thing that you want to see from this Braves coaching staff. You know that the locals are just going to try and get under your skin. The ref's calling a double foul.
No, but it'll be unsportsmanlike.
Not sure what happened to instigate that, but Coach Roger getting him on the bench and putting in somebody bigger.
Just a lot of the hand grappling. Must have been other things going on before, but the words exchanged afterwards.
Really a lot of nothing there, but again, that's something that these refs are going to have to look for. And again, that contact without the ball is still a foul. It'll be interesting how they guard DeGuara.
Kings hanging in there, only down by 2. It is the preseason after all, as Omar sings the second. Kings basketball. KJ inbounding. Oh no, JJ inbounding to KJ. This will be very confusing, Coach.
Jeez.
And then they had a Kyle. He's on the bench.
And that's why I'll stick to the color and not do the play-by-play.
Omar hands it off to JJ. His shot, too strong. There's the Senegal forward center with a rebound.
Those are those rebounds that you're going to have to get. You know, anything in the paint is going to be Jaguaras. Those mid-range ones are the ones the Kings have to get if they want to be able to compete.
Lewis to Winston. They're going to go to Jaguara, who's got the double team, poked out of bounds by the Kings.
And so we see the strategy a little bit different. That time Omar being able to push Jaguar out a little bit farther. A little bit of digging in from the perimeter players. And again, much better job that defensive possession.
They loop it up to him. He's in the high post, but I don't think there's a lot of tape of him shooting the outside shot. Screener roll with Lewis, who thought it got hit. No call, and here come the Kings. KJ from the right side, got it.
Again, and that's where these Kings are going to have to attack. With Sungwon Ding and DeGuara in the game, you should be able to get a sprint out on every single defensive rebound.
High post to the landlord. Pass deflected right into the hands of JJ. Amigo on Winston on the right side. Got it. Just like that, the Braves call timeout with a 6-0 run.
Again, we've noted the Braves' problems from last year. Turnovers. Again, throughout this first quarter, looks like they're treating it like a preseason game where the Kings are treating it a little bit more seriously.
As a new team, the Kings have 5 true rookies on the roster. Last year, Coach Julius talked about how challenging it is, shall we say, to bring those young guys up to speed. And Coach Marchand, in a new country for the first time, will have that additional pressure as well, getting those new guys up to speed.
It's definitely a challenge. Obviously, him getting here late because the COVID protocols just adds a little bit more difficulty. Again, and a lot of these players, we talked about from different teams, obviously, from different levels of basketball. Again, I'm sure it's going to be a completely new challenge for him, but we've seen some progress in these first couple games so far. And, I'm sure things will look a lot different once they get the imports on the court as well.
Their first import signing that they announced was Jaren Young, former Dreamer, teammates of Amigo, a lanky forward who led the league in steals, and Hong Kai-jie led the UBA in steals all of last season. Kind of a guy who's a little bit under the radar, but the 3rd overall selection in the Plus League draft.
Yeah, he's somebody that in my coaching career I went up against a couple times when scrimmaging the previously mentioned NCU University. Again, a very smart player, a guy who kind of finds his spots and very quietly can give you 20 points a game. We've seen him hit an outside shot already. Again, a smart, active defender. Again, as Coach Ryan starts to understand his roster a little bit better, I'm sure he'll be able to adjust both the offensive and defensive schemes a little bit more as opposed to just imagining what you want to do.
Number 7, Ling Liren is in the game as Omar fouls Dagara, fighting for position.
And again, there's really not much you can do other than put ball pressure up there, not let him make the pass and help from the weak side. But Omar doing his best to show off all the progress he's made in the weight room, but against DeGuara, it's not going to really matter too much.
Once again, the landlord Zheng Ding trying to hook up with one of the import centers. They like that action a lot.
Yeah, we talked about no real pure point guards on the roster today for the Braves. Again, probably their best passer is definitely going to be the landlord. Again, great at high-low passes. We've seen him with the national team with Quincy Davis in China. Did a good job getting it to their foreign imports. So on this roster right now, he's probably going to be their best passer.
2 for 2 from the line.
See, look at you talking about his touch. He's actually got a nice touch for a big man. Good from the line, and he's decent for mid-range as well.
Warrior Josh is in the game, sporting the yellow Nikes that he loves so much. Double handoff action for Steve-O. Takes the elbow shot way offline.
And that's going to be one of the sets that these Kings go to. We saw it a lot yesterday with Shinzu at the top of the key. Again, not really the playmakers that you would hope for. As we talk about another wild pass that gets saved by Tang Yu. But again, not a lot of good passes out there for the Braves here so far in this first quarter.
Haven't seen Joseph Lin yet, and we know Lai Tingen's dealing with a pretty serious foot injury. JJ from the elbow, no. A little brave on brave contact there. So the Pilots replace this Jackie with another Jackie. That errant pass ends up in the hands of Steve-O.
And again, that's an issue. When you can't make a pass to a 7'6" guy, that's an issue.
No good with that shot. Tie game with under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Hesitant with the pass. Jackie fires on the reload, and a skillful rebound assisted by KJ. He'll try again from the left side, still off.
Yeah, but again, it's that set that I'm sure once these Kings get a playmaking big up there at the top of the key, it'll look a lot different than it does with Omar and Yang Qingzi right there.
Dagara with space, missing the lay-in as the ball will bounce out for Josh. To get the and one, Omar fouled on the contest.
Again, you forced him into a miss, pop the ball out, get those long rebounds. That's really about all you can hope for at this point. Again, these Braves bigs have been very nice to the Kings, missing a lot of easy layups.
Doker will head to the line. Also had one of those nasty ankle turns last season that took a lot of time off the court.
Again, after promising rookie season, there's a lot of high expectations for him this year. Again, we've seen a very up and down first quarter so far, some errant passes, but again, I know Coach Roger really has high expectations for his playmaking ability.
Brendan Smart applying the pressure on Hong Kai-jie. Those guys must have matched up a few times in college. JJ with a deep shot. Had a good look to it. He gets the rebound out. Kai-jie to the rim, erased by Degara. He'll give it up to Josh.
Again, that's what we talked about them getting used to from yesterday's game to today's game. Is Smart has a nice move in the basement in the middle of the paint. And so although it may be a little bit getting used to in the preseason, it's really good for these Kings to face some imports now so they can get an idea of where exactly they are.
KJ to the corner. And the brace force the time clock before the Kings can get a shot off. Just like that, the first quarter is in the books. Taipei Fubon Braves 21, New Taipei Kings 16.
Drop the quiz.
Attention please. If dancing is not your thing, please step aside. 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you make it dip, 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 dip? Can you make it dip, 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 make it dip? Hey, baby, I just got one question. Can you make it dip, 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 make it dip? I just wanna see your G-string just disappear. I just got one question.
Baby boy, you stay on my mind. Baby, 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 baby.
For more information on the Plus League teams, the regular season schedule, and more, visit pleagueofficial.com. Getting another look at Kai-jie. Maybe about 7 or 8 inches too low on the layup attempt.
Yeah, not a lot of those guys in college. So again, quick adjustment. He's another one of those players who really does a good job with changing pace. So I'm sure once he gets that under his belt, knows what's coming, then he'll have a lot more success.
Benjuna, who started yesterday's game in the yellow hair, Smart lays it in with a soft touch.
And again, we see the great roll, but the great find from Beast off that nice little ATO set. Sure, Coach Roger's happy to see that.
This shot by Xiaoli in the corner. There's Steven attempting that. Degara on the block. Goes middle and lays it in.
And again, so we've seen the Kings go with a couple different defenses. That time, once again, letting him go one-on-one. Again, one dribble, dropping it right in the basket. So we see Steve-O with a... somebody close that window, Ryan.
We'll get somebody on that right away. Kyle's in the game. Number 9. Lee Kai-yin as Josh dribbles it off his foot, and it'll be a backcourt violation.
again, we see these Braves with no natural point guard really struggling. Not sure if they're going to start passing the ball over half court or continue to dribble into all these turnovers.
In the first quarter, 7 Braves turnover to 1 by the Kings. Flare screen for Shaoli. Drives baseline, flings up a tough shot. DeGar's there for the board. B, somebody they might count on to be the point guard, putting the moves on Steven. Second thought on the shot as Josh knocks it in.
Obviously, Josh a lot more comfortable off the ball right now. Nice playmaking ability by Beast, who's something we've come to expect here.
Now there's a made 3 by Steve-O.
There's a shooter who knows that they just closed that window. After being off by about 5 feet, that one finds the bottom of the net.
One of the deepest positions the Braves are at as wing. A guy like Josh, a guy like Beast. 3 Kings, 4 Kings in the neighborhood combined for that team rebound.
And that's what you got to do. Just tip it out, get some rebound support from your smalls. Again, it's going to be an adjustment, but I'm sure Coach Marchand would rather see them adjust in the preseason as opposed to the regular season.
Kyle did everything but the finish with the mid-range around Brendan Smart.
Kyle was trying to do what Lewis did and go about 2 feet short on a 4-feet shot.
Beast left the lane open thanks to DeCara.
Again, great playmaking ability from Beast there. And again, the only issue for these Braves is going to be how much you can rely on Beast. Obviously, in his advanced age, shall we say, he may not be able to give it to you every night, especially in back-to-backs, but we know that any one game at a time, he's still one of the best players in Taiwan.
DeGar with a quick spin move and through the entire Kings defense. Be a timeout for the Kings, who got a lot of guys also talking to the referees about the footwork on that particular play.
I think everybody was shocked that Sam could move that fast.
We'll go to another break before 9 minutes left in the first half.
行我们的活动。好，我已经看到有一些拿到小卡的球迷朋友们已经往我们的背板前面集合了。那麻烦不知道的、不知道我们路线的球迷朋友们，也可以问一下我们后面的工作人员。感谢各位的配合。Bitch, I'm a king like I'm playing sack. The bitch try to play me, I'ma play her back. Bitch, hopping on my dick like a jumping jack. I'ma pay for her ass, I don't like it flat. I invest in you, I'ma get the money back. You know I got the Midas touch. Ta-da-da. I need to bounce this ass for a rich ass nigga. I'ma get a bag, old cold ass nigga. You can't fuck with me if you ain't got that cash.
Welcome back inside the arena. Xinzhuang Gymnasium, home of the new Taipei Kings, being the first of 2 teams to host preseason action in the second year of the Plus League. Currently down by 12 points to last year's champs in the Taipei Fubon Braves. New head coach to the Kings, well, because they are a new team after all, but Ryan Mershon coached last season in Vietnam. Down in Kaohsiung, Coach DeMarcus Berry was an ABL scout for the Macau Black Bears, so a few connections to the Asian regions by those guys, but it's a totally different experience when you arrive in Taiwan.
Speaking of a new experience, defending Sam DeGuara with this footwork at his size, it's going to be a new experience for everybody here as we see Omar get a rest, and it's going to go back to Xingzi. Only about a 2-foot difference in their height, right?
It's close. Li Sixun drives and lays it in, but there was a foul beforehand.
Yeah, but you mentioned it, Ryan. A lot of coaches, it takes a while to get used to Taiwanese basketball. Again, it's just in terms of how these players play, their ability to execute sets, the way the refs call things. Again, it's not something that you can really figure out in a short period of time. A lot of coaches who have come from overseas had great stuff, but weren't necessarily able to be successful because they didn't really understand Taiwanese basketball. So it's nice to see Coach Duelis have some time to figure it out. Obviously taking the Dreamers to the finals last year, did a good job with that roster. So hopefully these new two coaches we have will have the opportunity to do that as well.
Vergara giving a jolt to the basket on the putback. Seems to thought about the mid-range, now gives it up. The driving kick game leads to Steve-O. No good, but Cayenne leaves the layout in and out.
But again, we see Josh with a maybe a little bit of a risky pass there again, turning it over as we see once again Deguara getting the putback finish and doing a little redecorating with the rim placement as well. Not sure if it's still straight, but I'm sure the refs will get on that.
He'll take a seat as Ray will take his place. Lee Mengshi leaves the middle alone. Lee Sishin, their selection out of Taiwan Normal University, gives way to Kyle for the lay-in.
And this is just a time where Coach Marchand's got to tell his team, all right, now we're local on local. Now we got no excuses. Again, now is when we get a chance to figure out where we are as a team. Again, even though this is the defending champs, hey, we're still here. Let's see how we've gotten better, see what we need to improve on, and see how we can start to defend Beast.
Beast takes on Steven and gets the 2 points. Sushin hesitates and lays it in off the backboard.
And so we've seen these Kings play with a lot more energy, a lot more confidence now that Deguara is off the court. And we see them not backing down to anybody. And that's one way to defend Beast.
They've been back and forth a few possessions now. Beast talking over some of the technical aspects of what just happened. Getting our first look today at Zheng Yunhao, number 15 from Sundry Nat was selected right after KJ, 4th overall by the Kings. As Beast takes a step back, clanks it.
Yeah, for those of us who joined the broadcast for the first game, another National Taiwanese Sport University product. Again, a lot of great players coming out of that system. Good to see them have an opportunity.
Seems lucky to get iron as Sishan still fighting in there. Now batted ahead to Xingzi. So that's the longest I've ever seen an offensive board. Kyle once again with a finger roll.
And we've seen Kyle kind of picking up where he left last season off with Yulong in the SBL. Again, playing with confidence, able to take care of a spaced floor. As we see the Braves once again, questionable pass, putting your teammate in a difficult position. But again, great job finding space in the open floor. No bigs in there to protect the rim. Easy little finger roll through.
Sishan only played a limited number of minutes in yesterday afternoon's contest as Steven misses back iron.
Again, knowing Coach Marchand obviously not wanting to show too much, especially with this limited roster, staying with that 5-out set. Just not a lot of time.
Nope. Driving kick to Kyle, tries from 3, and he hits. Once again, the Kings going on a little bit of a run.
We've talked about it before. This team, these younger teams, these less experienced teams that don't know each other as well, they do most of their damage in transition. Seeing the Kings do a good job, especially Kyle right there, attacking in transition, finding early shots. Once the Braves can stop that initial penetration, it's a little more sketchy. But again, these Kings showing signs of life.
Sishan was the last selection by the Kings, 12th overall in the draft. getting a lot more opportunity today than yesterday, where he struggled against the likes of Oscar and the Lioneers. So the timeout on the floor with less than 6 minutes left in this game. Let's get a little bit more of the new Taipei Kings experience. The new Taipei Queens, the cheerleading team, performed between quarters, and now some giveaways from the MC to the crowd. All part of this enhanced experience in the Plus League.
Yeah, again, just teams trying to get their fan base all pumped up for this regular season. It'll be starting soon. Again, we got a lot of Kings fans here in the building, a lot of Braves fans here in the building, but as long as we got fans in the building, it's all good.
Well, we make it known that Coach Xu Jinze is the head coach of the Braves, but almost this entire offseason, Aaron has been doing most of the talking in the huddles. Longtime assistant.
Keep it up. Keep it
One
up.
of among many assistants on the Braves staff.
Yeah, we talked about the players starting to get ready to have some of their younger generations step up and take increased roles. Obviously, the coaching staff being very solid, haven't been together for a very long period of time. They know exactly what Coach Roger expects from them, and they have a chance to kind of show what they can do and start to grow as coaches as well. So maybe getting ready for the post-Roger era.
Winston gets around the Sicef screen, looking for him. Beast springs free. Jordan to the left. Mongsher dribbles it off himself. Chen was there to disrupt.
Yeah, good job by the guards coming in and helping on that drive as we see try to erase that transition opportunity. Again, a little bit different going up against these guys than the guys you see in college.
Sun Junan, listed at forward during his college days, will be playing guard for the Kings, one of the bigger ones at 190. Pick and roll. Goes to Steven. Running out of time. A little bit of an opening there. Clinks off the back. Winston, trailer no. Beast working with Sicef, ends it up dribbling it off himself. So the Braves remain sloppy in this one.
Braves up by 7. Without half of those turnovers, they're probably up by 17 at this point. But again, their first game of the preseason. A lot of work yet to be done.
Hammer play to the other side. Hall knocking down the shot on the other side.
Great spacing there on the weak side. Baseline drive, baseline drift. Able to find that easy shot opportunity.
Another early foul, Yang Xingzi.
Again, just good job making yourself available. Again, that's something that these players thought have to learn. Running to places where your teammates can get you the ball makes your life a lot easier and theirs.
There's Kyle getting a hand in, leading to another Braves turnover.
But again, these pick and rolls really not finding a lot of success. There's not a lot of pick and roll ball handlers on the floor for these Braves. A lot of turnovers.
Steven still trying to go at the basket. This time, called for the foul was Lewis. Could it be on Jackie on the help side?
Again, that's something that Coach Marchand's going to have to get used to too. Again, these Taiwanese refs, when they see you swipe down at the ball, 97.3% of the time, they're going to call the foul. Yes, Ryan, I've charted it all. Spent the entire 3-4 month off season figuring out those statistics, so don't ask, just trust me.
I was going to ask, do you remember what you estimated for people arriving at Taoyuan International Airport? Because it was in the 90s as well.
Yes, probably somewhere around there. I don't like these pop quizzes, Ryan.
Coach, you just set yourself up for them.
Stop holding me accountable for what I say.
The landlord controls it. They're still looking for Zaitsev.
You see the Braves coaching staff understanding. Those pick and rolls not doing much. Went to a high-low look there, but same result. Turnover from the Braves.
Steven will pull up, leave it short. The kid sure is confident.
That's not something you can teach. Again, I'm sure that you'd rather have aggressive mistakes, aggressive misses than passive misses.
Running down on the shot clock with Zaitsev in his face. Too late. You can see the youth on the Kings as they try to get themselves organized. Currently with 3 rookies on the team. And Shinsu, who took a year off last season after playing with the Braves.
Yeah, like you said, anytime that these Kings are in the half court, it ends up being a struggle. Yeah, just not a lot of reads being made, and I'm sure that that's something that Coach Marchand will work with him. I'm sure he's got people cutting film for him. You see Winston finish through that contact, but again, these younger players, they got an entire new system to learn, new roles to learn, a new way of practicing. And again, it's very early in the season, but it's good to see them being competitive.
Another ricochet by Jingnan. Now JJ will try from the left side and bury it.
Again, another second chance opportunity off one of those mid-range rebounds. Yeah, get those 7-footers in. You know anything under the basket is theirs, but everything outside the paint, you should have an opportunity for.
Sliding body foul by Steven. The Kings do lead the Braves 7-5 in the offensive rebounding column.
And that's something that the coaching staff's got to remind them. Hey, there's a 7-footer in there. Everything within 5 feet, you give them to them. Just get back, but everything else we got a chance at. Kings doing a great job so far.
I guess he wouldn't have given you this field. Entering that 0 for 5.
He said confident.
Zaitsev, big body works around. Shinsu now trying to work the middle, got the foul.
But again, that's something where, again, still not going to double, still not going to dig. And you can see that Zaitsev puts down that ball. Again, no help from the perimeter. It's going to be Shinsu all by himself. Not for much longer, though, as we see Omar at the scorer's table getting ready to check in. See if we have any more fireworks like we did last time.
There he comes. Yang Shinsu getting a big ovation.
Yeah, Yang Shinsu is a guy I coached, must have been 6 or 7 years ago when he left college. Great kid, great family. At that point, he played the 4 in college. Was trying to work his way and figure out how to be a 3 at his size. It never really worked out, so it's interesting to see him back in this role. Instead of going to a 3, he's playing the 5. But again, happy to see everybody getting opportunities to show what they can do like he did yesterday.
Switch your hands off to Steve-O, who hands it right back. Deflects action, leaves. Steven Goss shot open.
Again, you talked about confidence. Again, Steve-O can miss 7 in a row, and he knows that next one's definitely going in. And he's going to be somebody that Coach Marchand is going to count on heavily this upcoming season.
Just like that, we're tied up at 38 apiece. Zaitsev shoot from the left side. That's his preferred side. Buries it. Kings are 5 out again. Steve-O, heat check, yes! So nice answer by the Kings.
Again, just playing with energy. Again, the young team, that's something that everybody wants to see.
JJ was underneath those screens, still got a contest. Down to Zaitsev on the right side this time.
And again, nice entry pass right there from the landlord. Easy finish, but again, these Braves are going to have to figure out something defensively. These Kings are playing with a lot of confidence.
Rebound by Zaitsev. They push ahead, but back. Winston short. I don't think I've seen Zaitsev go to the left hand on the left side yet.
No, he's able to get that left shoulder into the body, get to that favorite right-hand hook, or against some of these undersized guys, right-handed layup. And again, these guys know their favorite move, and they're able to get into it.
But the foul to give, Jackie commits it. I haven't seen Amigo for a lot of this second quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure with this being a back-to-back, and again, Amigo being one of the elder statesmen in the league, he'll have limited minutes today. Or maybe he'll have no more minutes today.
Puts it up, Kasha, short. He was way out on the KK Box logo in junior hall territory.
Yeah, he had a little more time than he thought, but again, after 3 threes in a row, I don't have that heat check.
With that buzzer sound, we have the halftime coming up. Thanks for watching the Plus League preseason.
来，没关系，先过来我们这边，我们大家一起过去。对，我一个人会孤单，需要你们的陪伴。对，来，有你们在的地方，尖叫声才会大。只有我在，没有人想要看我。对，来，麻烦我们再往旁边一点，这边比较多人，来这边再站一点点。OK， 感谢 Chris。好，谢谢 Chris 来陪我解释一下我们这个游戏。那我们这个游戏呢，就是国王游戏。那到底什么是这个游戏？有你们真好，在右手边的底线，我们会一组8个人，那我们到底要玩什么？我们要玩的就像是1、2、3木头人，没错。那如果呢，我们没错，你们有听到 DJ 等一下会播的音乐？来，我们先请 DJ 来播一下我们等下游戏进行中的音乐。DJ 上 Jump the Beat， 听到这个 beat 了吗？很熟悉吧？好，那当 DJ 上暂停音乐的时候，你们就要拿着球不动，也不能运球，什么东西都不能做。对啊，如果这时候我跟 Chris 就会转过来看你们，如果发现有人动，那个人就淘汰。啊，我讲那么多，好像也没有人听得懂，不如我们直接来请我们工作人员示范一下好了。那就请 Chris 跟我一起移动到左手边的底线。然后请切记，一定要到篮下才能上篮。如果你直接投3分球这个是就算进了，我们也不算你赢好，工作人员你们就位了吗？都在吗？举个手吧。大家都穿一样，我有点分不出来好 ，OK， 好。只要我转是不是？好，那麻烦我们 Chris， 你们比较漂亮，所以你们转过去对，长得比较不好看的背对大家就是我你们笑那么开心是默认是不是？好，接下来呢，我们就要请 Chris 跟我们一起进行这个游戏。工作人员，你们准备好了吗 ？OK， 好 ，DJ 上，游戏开始。好，这时候我转过去有没有？我转过去的时候就看，对 ，Chris 就在帮我指出到底是谁失败淘汰。好，那就请我们那位同学，对，就跟大家挥挥手，然后往我们一开始的地方前进，还可以领取我们这个优美的小礼品。好，接下来2位我们继续进行来准备 DJ 上，游戏开始。有没有转过来？这位眼镜仁兄就这么简单的被淘汰掉了。好，谢谢我们眼镜仁兄，然后麻烦到我们的好不好？刚刚的报道处，那只剩最后1位，那他是不是就直接获胜了呢？没有，我们要到他上篮成功为止。OK，DJ 上，游戏开始。 有没有进啊？没有进，好，我们假装他进了，反正只是示范而已。如果他进的话呢，然后也麻烦到我们那边，等一下就会有奖品啊。刚刚在私底下练那么久，怎么这时候还会失误？好，回去想想 ，OK。好，没关系，那谢谢 Chris， 我们再稍等一下。那麻烦请我们工作人员把第1组的参赛者请出来，我们的1到8位，好不好？总共8位。然后麻烦参赛者帮我举个手，好不好？
Welcome back to the broadcast. You might notice a little 1, 2, 3 freeze going on in the center court as the new Taipei Kings put on a halftime entertainment, getting the fans involved. I'm Ryan Chen. I'm joined by Coach Benjamin Metcalf. Coming back from the break. On your screen now is Sam on the left and Eddie on the right, providing the Mandarin commentary. Looking at the first half stats, the Braves lead this one just by 2 after having a big lead and playing their allowed 2 import players between Igor Zaisev and Sam Degara. They lead big time in the rebounding department, but have committed 13 turnovers to just 2 by the Kings, who are playing 2 or 3 guards at a time all the time. Top scorers for the Braves include Zaisev with 11, followed by Beast and Degara with 8 apiece, Josh Okoye with 5, Brendan Smart with 4. We've seen the rookie, last year's rookie, this year's sophomore, put in 2 buckets. Taking advantage of size has been a big thing for the Braves. They aren't playing with a guard a lot of the times, and so getting it inside or trusting it to the landlord has been their key. But this is how the Braves like to play. They have their size, and they'll go after you with it.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to have the size advantage with pretty much any matchup. So that's where teams are going to have to find different ways to beat you, like the Kings are doing from the perimeter today.
On the other side, Steve-O with 9 points, Lee Kai-yen 9 as well. At first, Gashar was really off the mark with his shots, but then he's found his touch and helped the Kings back into this game.
Yeah, again, it's what we talk about. Shooters shoot. Doesn't matter how many you miss, doesn't matter how badly you miss, and that's what the coaching staff wants to see.
So being the new team, the Kings have to organize their company and get all their work permits sorted out. So their imports will come a little bit later, adding to the difficulty of putting on their team and putting on their operations. We'll talk about that and more in the second segment before the second half of this game.
到底你是要弄谁啊？刚刚有进吗？有进了，好，不好意思，但是我们还是有礼物，好不好？麻烦到我们刚刚的入口处，然后也恭喜这位同学，蓝色帽子的这位同学，来跟大家挥挥手，好不好 ？OK， 恭喜他，恭喜他！如果这真的是在游戏里面，好不好？这个真的就要恭喜啊！来，麻烦到我们的入口处领取我们的奖品，请稍等啊！最后一组参赛者，帮我举个手。我问你们，你们有信心吗？大声一点，有信心吗？非常好，我们DJ上，游戏开始。我跟你讲，来，这颗球就先回家吧。OK， 我刚刚好像基本上看到这边的都淘汰。不过我刚才眼睛有点痒，刚好在抓痒，所以好像没看到。DJ 上，游戏开始。到底有没有人赢？有没有人赢啊？哪一位？好，绿全部都说我进，那我也进了。好，哪3位？好，我跟你讲，我们短暂的加码赛，给我到中线。好不好？中线再来一次，迅速，来拿着球，迅速，你们3位 PK， 来球借他一下，还有一位绿色衣服这位，好，来准备好了吗？不准偷跑，我刚才听到有人偷跑，好不好？DJ 上，游戏开始。
Welcome back to the broadcast as we're having a disaster with the halftime games. Nobody can lay the ball in. A little bit better basketball happening before and after, hopefully, as the Taipei Fubon Braves last season's championship team takes on one of the new kids on the block and the new Taipei Kings. So far, as promised, the Kings playing smaller players, but also utilizing their guard skills, keeping the turnovers down, just trying to hang in there.
Yeah, you talked about it, Ryan. Again, those Kings had many opportunities to hang their heads and kind of just go, hey, they've got imports, we don't, but they came back from a double-digit deficit. Right now they're down by 2, and they're looking good.
So remind us, Coach Ben, what was the biggest adjustment you make when you joined a coaching staff here in Taiwan? I'm guessing it's the referees and the officiating.
No, the referees were always great to me. Again, but in all seriousness, again, it's just a different culture. Again, every country is going to have their different culture, so the way you lead is going to be very different. Again, some teams need a very strong head coach. Some coaches need you to come in and give the ownership to the players. So that's something that I'm sure both foreign coaches here this year are trying to figure out. And then you also have to understand the basketball. Again, Taiwan's not a country where you're going to come in, put in a lot of sets and expect guys to make reads. Again, it's not something that they've ever done, so you're going to have to learn to accept with some turnovers, a lot of bad shots, a lot of missed shots, and just trying to find somewhere to accept it. So, again, it's a learning process for everybody, and I'm sure Coach Marchand's getting used to it now.
One big windfall for the Kings, though, was the signing of Quincy Davis. We'll talk about that and more as the second half begins shortly.
Going down for real. It's 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 going down for real. Drop it.
好，在这边提醒一下各位哦，栏杆千万不要挂东西哦。对，我有看到，有没有？就是我的视线的这边有哦，刚刚先不要挂，对，感谢你哦。好，然后我们栏杆呢也尽量不要搀扶，因为呢栏杆松不松我们不知道，所以说等一下我们是避免发生一些危险，所以大家尽量不要靠着栏杆。啊，拍照是没关系的，拍一下下都没关系，但是千万不要整场挂在那一边，安尼嘛不好看啦。对，没有那么好看啦。好，感谢各位的配合。那刚刚也知道我们有玩了国王游戏，那在未来呢，我们也会持续的推出各种不同的互动游戏来跟各位一起体验游玩，来跟各位互动。那也谢谢呢大家一直来我们的城堡为我们加油，感谢。
I'm watching it go dumb. Titty jiggling, ass wiggling, and my bitch wanna come. Big ass, bring it over. Rev it up like a motor. Talk that shit with your boo. Leg up over your shoulder. Fuck that soft shit, bitch, make it bounce hard. Like you're riding on the dick of a superstar. Ass everywhere, bitch, got some juice skills. Fuck around and we gon' do it for real.
Hey, you want it? If you want it, if you really need it, if you really need it. You want me to get it? Want me to get it?
Fans, tickets still available to next weekend's preseason stop in Kaohsiung. And of course, November 20th and 21st, the third and final stop of the Plus League preseason, hosted by the Plus League itself at National Taiwan University, the biggest event of the off-season coming up. Something that we haven't touched on yet is the Kings signing Quincy Davis in the off-season, formerly all his Taiwanese career with the Puyuan organization, but finding a new home with the Kings. That'll be a big boost for the team, not only on the floor, but also hopefully in instructions as well.
Yeah, we've seen him in between timeouts at halftime, going over some things with some of the local players. Again, just kind of teaching him those little vet moves. And again, he may not be playing in these preseason games because he's Q and he's a vet and he's, what, 100 years old? But that knowledge he's doing a good job of just passing on to the players. Again, we saw the role that he had last year for the Pilots was perfect. Again, obviously he's going to be a huge advantage in the fourth quarters when you can only have one import on the court. So I'm sure that's something that the coaching staff for these Kings looks forward to. But at this point, it's good to see him being involved with, passing on that knowledge to some of the younger players.
For those of you who are curious, you write 100 as 3.8 for Quincy Davis's age.
It's about, if you round up to the nearest 100.
Right.
So it's somewhere around there.
There's only one player older than him, and that's Beast Lin Zijie, who's 39 years old. A lot of other youngsters coming up in the league, maybe one day taking their place if they continue to play unfossilized.
Well, that's what everybody hopes for. Again, Taiwanese basketball fans have been hoping for the next Quincy Davis for a long time. But again, being coaching Q for 9 years, that I can tell you that there's never going to be another Quincy Davis. And sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing.
Recently, during this year, the Chinese Taipei Basketball Association announced the, what do we call it? The Guihua, the naturalization of Artino, who previously played for the Dreamers. And so currently he's seeking a team to join with 17 total in the Taiwan basketball landscape. Kings start on offense with Amigo back on the floor.
And Coach Roger with those two bigs on the floor at the same time going into a zone. Not going to be expecting a lot of movement after a big Z, but that's what's going to happen on the zone. Those backside rebounds. Again, these Kings not giving up on the boards, finding easy points like they do here in transition. Well, maybe not that easy.
Kayin with the steal, missing the layup, but JJ's there for the putback.
That's where the Braves haven't made an adjustment. And trying to get Josh to bring the ball over half court has been an adventure all game.
Zaitsev from the top rails the three.
Big Z thinks he's a 4.
So the Braves flexing into their zone defense. 3 at the top, 2 bigs in the bottom. Looks real good from here. Cigar with the long rebound. JJ steals the pass. Here come the Kings. Mason had that shot erased by one of the 2 bigs.
Yeah, I think Big Z stole that block, able to get there first in transition. And again, that's going to be a tough task to get the ball laid up there.
Amigo, that one kicked off the legs. Kind of interesting. Last year we saw the Pilots go with the zone defense against the 3-point shooting happy Dreamers in the playoffs, and now Braves enacting the same strategy against supposedly a 3-point shooting Kings team.
Yeah, again, you can kind of tell that these Braves are treating this like a preseason game. Again, trying to put people in positions that they might not have been in before. Samuel Dubois doing a little Pat statting, a little Moses Malone. Not worrying about his field goal percentage, but getting those offensive rebounds up there. So again, Coach Rogers trying to work on this zone a little bit because it may be something that they need to go to in the regular season.
Pull-up shot, Mason, way over the top.
Zone is one of those things where you come in as a new coach and the first thing you want to do is get your defensive identity, and then you start to put in some sets, and usually those zone actions are going to be the last thing you put in there. So again, this is a good opportunity for the coaching staff of the Kings to talk to their players, and they can put in a set mid-game, have some film to watch in, and then they can go on it a little bit later.
Kings call timeout. We'll go to a break. Be back after this.
drop OK， 其他人动到空打，3个人都要空打。然后33目前守得不错，桂宇跟杰哥讲话。OK。因为wide open要准备好。Don't settle for shots. We don't need to settle for mid range. Keep driving. Keep driving. If we can get a layup or get to the rim, great. If not, keep moving until we can get something into the corner, just like drive and kick. 不要一直投中距离啊，想办法切入传到 corner。你不要一传到 corner 马上就投掉，可以再做切入，传到一个很好的 corner 的机会再出手。可以上篮的话就上篮，让他们去移动。Hey, we're okay. It's just 2 possessions. 是2波进攻。2 possessions. All right. 再来就好了。Stay in it. Stay in it. Stay in it. Here we go. 来，加油加油。Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thanks for joining the broadcast. English commentary is back for the second season of the Plus League. Myself, Coach Metcalf, will be on many of those calls, so go ahead and leave a like on the stream.
What's our goal for likes today, Ryan?
I believe we already passed 120, so how about 165?
Oh, so you're just going to keep changing the finish line?
Well, I mean, why?
No, it's
why,
good. You'd make a good coach. You'd make a good coach.
Thank you, Coach. Yes.
So like we said, again, these Kings, now that they've had a chance to have a timeout, hopefully we'll see what they can do against this Brave zone. Again, tough to put anything in mid-game, but again, hopefully they can have an idea of what the coaching staff is trying to do.
Cayenne with some separation, but Mason will give up the shot to Amigo, who fires and in and out.
Again, great movement there. Had an initial shot on the strong side corner. Did a great job kicking it out to the perimeter, and Amigo just not able to hit that shot.
High-low action, import to import. And it'll be 3 seconds on DeGara.
But again, and you see Coach Marchand just giving him a thumbs up, just saying that he pushed him out. Again, he pushed him out of his area, forced him to take a little bit more time, and you get a turnover. That's all you need. Again, you're not going to expect him to defend him one-on-one, but again, just little improvements that you can go into the week of practice with and work on as a team.
There's attention to the detail. Amigo rolled the basketball up, giving the Kings a little bit more time to attack the zone.
You can see
rapid kick to JJ. His shot, yes.
Again, great set out of that timeout. They've run it a couple times. First time attacking the corner. This time getting a nice little 3 at the wing.
Repost, but Beast choosing to shoot it. It's money.
Yeah, and that's where that Braves team is so dangerous. You see the Quara giving it up with the repost. Unneeded. It's got to be 110, right, Beast? Hits the 3.
JJ tries to counter. No, Mason there with the putback right away.
And that's the second time they've got that weak side offensive rebound against the zone. Again, the high-low from 7-footer to 7-footer.
Dump off leads Amigo. But he's closed out quickly by Winston. They'll try the 28-footer, no. Long rebound to the Kings. Kyle off to the left to see it immediately from our angle. Good job with the help, and out of bounds off the Kings.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it. You're not going to be able to get these guys one-on-one. That time, the help coming from the weak side, able to deflect it. Again, these teams are just looking for incremental improvements, and we've definitely seen that for the Kings here.
DeGara choosing to pass it off. Beast with his favorite crossover and step back. A little tiptoe dump for Jigara.
Again, you talk about Mason obviously not going to compete on the board, but these Kings continue to compete in transition. Another great pass ahead. Easy three from the corner.
Kind of getting a feeling of that modern basketball, trading twos and for threes if they can.
And I'm sure that's what Coach Roger wants to do. So again, put these guys in positions where they're going to fail. Again, with this Braves team, you know that they're going to be the favorite in pretty much every game, especially with imports. And again, putting them in a zone, making them work on something that they haven't done before is. We see Deguara called for the foul on that block. And again, some people are playing chess here in the preseason. Right?
Roger getting out of his seat to talk about that call. Toyota will not get in the free throw. He leads the Kings in scoring with 16 points.
And again, we've seen that most of his stuff has come in transition, early break action. Again, that's something that this team is going to have to take advantage of.
Jigara throws it through the hands of a teammate, but Beast is there to save him. Winston with a smart cut and 2 points.
Yeah, but again, different look from the Kings defensive there, going with the double team. Not sure if Amigo was doing it after the coach told him to, but again, almost forced the turnover. Unfortunately, Winston able to sneak in behind the defense, which he's done for 14 years now.
More high-low. And there's Degar once again. Seems it with a hand to the face and squinting eyes.
Yeah, with some of these guys, their heads are just around elbow level for these 7-footers. So again, I do not envy Shinzu. He may be regretting his comeback right now.
Did we realize Omar is coming in for him as the Kings will inbound from the baseline. The baseline three is JJ.
Kings attacking that corner, doing a great job of finding some open space.
Out of bounds off the Kings. Winston blowing the layup.
Yeah, should have been in that halftime game, Ryan. A lot of missed layups there, too.
I don't know. Winston might be a little too twitchy to make it to the end. The ERSM Mutora might get him. To Jackie in the short corner. Short. From the other corner, JJ, nope. I'm surprised he didn't reposition. Amigo throws it away. There's a rare turnover by the Kings.
Yeah, after that timeout called by Coach Marchand, the Kings have a very organized offense, knowing that they're attacking those corners and finding the open spots from there. Again, like you said, a rare turnover after the Braves have gone to this zone.
Based on these rotations, do you think we'll see the imports play out all in the fourth quarter for the Braves?
I'm sure if it's a close game, Coach Rogers won't be able to help himself. As much as you want to work on stuff and see different combinations, Coach Roger wants to win.
There's a foul as Zaitsev, after me saying he couldn't go left, goes left. Amigo there, getting him on the elbow.
Ryan, in your defense, you said he wouldn't go left from the other
from the
block.
left, yes.
Yeah, so,
thank you, Coach.
So, yeah, you know what you're talking about sometimes.
The landlord comes in, Degar goes out. We got some more play calling going from Coach Marchand.
And that's something that he's going to have to figure out. Again, Taiwanese players They'll hustle, they'll work hard, they'll play hard, but running sets is not one thing that they're great at. So again, he's going to have to find a nice balance in between what he wants to run and what they're able to do. Is, again, attacking that corner. Omar with a great little roll, able to slip it in before Big Z can get there defensively.
Omar with his second and third points in the game. Flouristing for Jackie. 4 guys come over on him, leaving Lewis open. Got it.
Same play we saw in the first half, this time from the Braves, able to penetrate, kick to the corner for a wide open 3.
They keep leaving JJ open. He'll keep shooting it. Fight for position. There's a backdoor. Winston throwing it up randomly, and the Kings can only foul on the rebound.
And that's something Winston does such a good job at. Knowing that he's pulled the big out on help, just kind of throwing it up at the rim. Again, that time he wasn't necessarily trying to make it, but he knew that Big Z was down there and that he'd get anything he threw up there. And he's rewarded with 2 free throws for Big Z.
Syseth is now 4 for 6 at the line. His point total at 21, going on 23 with the 2 makes.
Okay.
2 makes.
That was new math you got there. 21 going on 23.
So Winston will take a seat as Chen will take the ball up. Only played 5 minutes yesterday, but the Kings making it a point to spread the playtime around. Amigo to Yuhao, clanks off left. He'll get his own rebound. Kings just going with driving kick right now as the Braves are scrambling. Amigo left with time and rolls it in. So we're still in single digits. As Isaac kicks the basketball in frustration, the fans, I think it was contacting Omar. Hopefully it was just the basketball.
Yeah,
but he's down in a heap.
Pretty sure Omar didn't get down that far. But it's definitely a directed kick. The ball actually went off Omar's face onto Big Z's shoe. But again, you could see Big Z telling that guard to come to the ball. It's the second turnover they've had in the first half, the exact same action. People waiting for the ball, the defense. Oh, okay, it was a ricochet.
So it was a kick ball, and Omar just getting up from all 4s. Took a little bit to recuperate. But a bad turnover once again by the Braves.
Oh, we've seen a fire from Big Z that I definitely did not expect here in this preseason. And again, he's gotten into it with players, frustrated with teammates. And he's made a hero out of Omar here in front of his home crowd in New Taipei City.
Now the Kings wondering if they're going to get a foul out of that play. It's just going to be a violation right now. Get one last look out of it.
I mean, Big Z, former Ukrainian national player. If he was really that good with his soccer skills, he'd probably be on the Ukrainian soccer team. So obviously just frustrated. Unfortunately, the kick ended up in Omar's face.
All right, things are settled, and Yuhao will roll it up to JJ. Steve will come out to relieve Omar as they get the driving kick going. Yuhao will float it up. Not used to taking that kind of shot. Lewis and Landor pick and roll. Take a foot on the line, 2.
But again, that's another situation where great roll by the landlord. Lewis not able to get the pass there. Ends up shooting a contested 2. And this is something that, well, Coach Rogers concerned about everything. But something, not having a point guard right now is something that will make him lose even more sleep.
Right now, the Kings are always running 2 bigs up top, but they're not shooting threats, so not a very efficient move. Sushin, trapped by Josh. We'll get the bear hug foul.
Again, just stupid. I mean, great defensive pressure, great possession. You foul the guy with 5 seconds when he can't even dribble. Again, not the start that Josh was looking for in this preseason here for the Braves.
Few substitutions and a word from Quincy Davis for Omar as Uhal this time makes the push shot. Just the angle, matter of angles, coach.
Yeah, exactly. We can see as soon as the imports come out there, get back on the bench, that the Kings are able to get right in there for a layup as we see an offensive foul called on these Braves and their flare screen. Yeah, these Kings showing a lot here in this second game of back-to-back.
The Kings will not play in Kaohsiung, but the Braves will play the Steelers once again on Sunday next week. Uhal with a little bit more confidence. Omar is there for the putback.
Once again, that backside offensive rebound out of the zone. 2 more easy points for the Kings here.
Josh left alone. Makes the layup.
Same set that they just ran, that wheel action. Great screen right there by Ray. Able to free up Josh for easy layup.
To the corner, to Steve-O. His shot, yes!
And that's just a matter of matchups. Again, you have Omar out there on the perimeter, other non-shooters. No real reason to rotate off of Steve-O. Give him that room on the perimeter.
Lewis getting the Ray screen. Shot fake, reload, sinks it.
Yeah, that time, making sure that he's behind the 3-point line.
Maybe that makes him more accurate.
Yeah. If he's a shooter, he's not a mid-range shooter.
A little late to the closeout in the corner, leaves KJ too strong. 3-on-3, Jackie spinning right into a teammate. Got the lucky roll. Josh jumps the lane, but Uhal is left open, clanks it badly. So less than a minute left in the third quarter of this one. Braves up by 8. Landlord on the block. Taking his sweet time to Jackie. He's tied up, but they're going to call a foul. We'll see that one again.
Interesting call from that angle. Again, looked like a lot of ball, but I've never been one to argue with the refs.
No, of course not. Number 29, Jackie Tsangari will shoot free throws. Bringing his point total to 5. His second attempt is left short. Sushin, Omar, Steve-O, Mason, and KJ for the Kings. Still trying to figure out the Brave zone in parts. Once again, Josh is all over him. Deflection out of bounds.
Yeah, better job of recognizing personnel right there. Yeah, knowing who to guard, who not to guard. Again, 3 seconds left for these Kings to do something.
3 seconds left. Chen from the top. Yes! Maybe they just needed a sense of urgency. And Kaijie has to foul as he had a guy go by.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Smart player right there. Right there, knowing he was beat, knowing that they were still a foul away from the bonus, as we see a buzzer beater right there from the top of the key. But again, these are the players that are going to have a place on this team. Again, the ability to know how to fit in, how to fit into a system, how to play with imports.
Lewis just beating the third quarter clock, but it was another air ball. I wonder how many of these we've seen today, Coach.
Hey, I mean, there's a lot of windows in this building. Somebody's got to get there and close it.
We'll get right on that before the fourth quarter coming up next.
Yeah！ 最大的爆炸声，谢谢我们新北国王啦啦队 Queens！Yeah！
Thanks to all the fans tuning in on YouTube. Thanks to all the fans coming into the arena and supporting the new Taipei Kings in the Plus League as we venture on to our second season. Still a competitive one. Kings just down by 6 despite not playing any of their imports. A number of them still in quarantine, still figuring out their way to get to join the new team in this new season.
And we have a very quick answer for the question you asked last quarter. Will the imports play in the fourth quarter? Well, hard to miss that one right there.
Jagar immediately with an opportunity on the low block right over the top of Omar.
Same set that the Braves have run a couple times, setting that rip screen for Sam. Able to get some space for the easy layup.
JJ with the off-timing floater.
And that's what we said in the first half. And again, he had one erased by DeGuara at the rim that time. Again, off-footer, able to get it over the outstretched arms.
DeGuara right away down the middle and retreating. They're trying to baseline. We'll throw it out. Stokely trying the middle himself and counters with the floater.
Able to make something out of nothing. Something that every coach appreciates.
Now the Braves in a man look. As Chen trying to get by Smart. Good hands, but the referees are going to call it off of Brendan Smart.
Again, you said it, Ryan. Obviously in that third quarter, they went all zone just to get some film that they can watch and know what they have to work on going forward. And now back to man in the fourth quarter. Again, it's obvious that they're trying to work on some different things.
We got a quick look at that, and the referees also taking a look at the IRS monitors courtside.
Is this a coach's challenge, Ryan? Or?
I think the referees initiated this one.
Oh, okay. I can't get that excited about it.
We're still getting the juices flowing, of course. It is the preseason. Games will start counting starting in December 4th, and it will be the Brave basketball. They get that corrected right away.
Yeah, good. Nice quick hands by Smart down there. Able to get his hands on the ball. And Smart's somebody that these Braves coaches have high expectations for as well. Right, I guess it sounds like they have high expectations for everybody, but I guess that's what a good coach does. They, again, hoping that he can play a more substantial role in this upcoming season. Obviously, he's got the physical tools, and he's got the work ethic, but now he's just got to put it all together.
In college at Jianxing University, Brandon Smart played the center with his physicality, even not being the tallest center out there. Beat with a nice move, but kind of throws it on the floor. That'll be a turnover. Trying to find Zagara. Evo to KJ. Leaves it for Omar. Goes to the left hand, leaves it short. I think he could have got open with a dribble.
Yeah, but again, that's something that he's got to get used to. Again, great job right there. Being able to get it up onto the rim, give himself a chance. Again, just getting used to how to combat these 17-footers.
Beach forces his way in around Stevo. Having some troubles on the defensive end, being the disruptor that we kind of saw at previous practices. No looking pass for KJ, but Sushan blows the layup.
Again, great find, just unable to put it through.
Lewis taking the reload three.
That's somebody the Fubon coach also has high expectations for, Ryan. Again, Lewis with a little bit of a disappointing season last year off his previous performance in Taiwan, but again, showing the nice range today. Able to hit a handful of threes here in the second half.
They sure do. We'll be back.
We can be in twirl with you coming up. Put that big in that pick and roll. You setting the back pick.
It going hundreds, but it wouldn't be the first time I done it going hundreds, but it wouldn't be the first time I done it going hundreds, but I should be going ones, bitch, I should be going ones, bitch, I wouldn't be the first time I done it going hundreds, but it wouldn't be the first.
Welcome back inside the arena.
Finish on three. 1, 2, 3.
James Johnson Gymnasium, home of the New Taipei Kings.
But again, we see these Kings getting used to playing against these 7-footers. Nice little pump fake, able to get Taguara off the ground, just not able to make it there with a nice back cut. Taguara not even aware, just not able to make the layup. So at this point, they know how to play. They just have to be able to make some shots. We see the Braves go into that zone look out of the timeout. And the Kings running the same set that they have previously.
Stevo leaves it short and bricks it.
Just tell Stevo to stay outside the three-point line.
Lewis rejects the screen into the double. Reload on the screen, bouncing it out.
Getting lucky there after going under on that handoff. Lewis not able to make that three.
Stevo flushes it.
See what I tell you, Ryan? Just stay outside the three-point line.
You're absolutely right, Coach. All the time. Every time.
I wish players were more like you, Ryan. No, Steven obviously being an unbelievable shooter. Again, the opponents love to see Steven put it on the floor.
Kyle with the effort leads to a Winston turnover.
There we see the sharpshooter again with that quick release. And the Kings continue trying to cut this into a single-digit game.
They run a set, but it's blown up by Winston. They'll go for a reset. JJ on a dribble and knocks it in. His foot kind of got caught, kicking out. Nice steal by Steve-O. 4-on-1. Omar finish it. On the hesitation.
And that's the same turnover we've seen 4 times today. The pass up the sideline, teams jumping the pass, throwing it right into the opponent and giving them an easy opportunity.
Lewis disrupted on his way there, but Beast to Winston, just like old times.
Great cut from Winston there after Lewis missed the layup. But again, these Kings coming right back at it in transition.
Devo to Omar, who takes the mid-range, too strong. Curious pass.
Yeah, not ideal spacing on that possession, but as we've said, half court is a work in process for these Kings.
Through the hands of Smart. Kyle ahead of steam to Mason, to the hoop. Overshoots it.
Yeah, airmailed that one.
Lewis left alone, his 3. Goes to the floor though as Landlord gets the offensive board. The tired Kings team let Winston brick the 3.
I don't think those Braves are much far behind as far as fatigue there. Everybody walking a little bit slower here in this 4th quarter.
Steve-O to the left, but Beast and Landlord, miscommunication there.
Yeah, again, same thing happened in the first half with Winston and Landlord. That time, losing it out of bounds. We're going to go to the replay on that one to see if it was off Beast or Landlord, Ryan?
If it has to do with a turnover, I would request that they do, because I very much care about the most accurate and up-to-date stats.
You and I both.
Not this time. But actually, Jeonza will get a warning for falling on a shot, flopping.
Not sure if the Kings bench really agrees with that, but moot point at this right now.
Jackie playing the tough defense as Kyle turns it over, and that'll be an and one on the other side.
Adding insult to injury. Live ball turnover in the middle of the floor. Able to finish through the contact and one. Just a killer of this momentum that the Kings had going.
They call a timeout, down by 10. 6:31 left. We won't go to break right here. The Braves have all 3 timeouts left in the second half, whereas the Kings are just left with the 30-second player timeout. So 4 minutes and 30 seconds to get down to that mark. We'll see how this young team fares with pretty sizable deficit. I think the fatigue is setting in both on the offensive side and the defensive side for them.
We've seen, again, out of every timeout, the team's obviously done a good job of knowing what to do and how to execute. It just becomes a matter of when the game comes down to skill and kind of just playing basketball. These Kings are at a little bit of a disadvantage, not being together for so long, and everybody being new teammates. So it's going to be exciting to see them grow throughout the season. Again, any expansion team is going to be like that. We saw the Lionaires kind of figure out who they were throughout the course of the season last year, as opposed to the more established teams in the league. And this year we have 2 expansion teams to be excited about, and see how they grow and see how these younger players take advantage of the stage that they have now.
Braves come out with the same 5, and it looks like the same for the Kings. Jackie makes the and 1. They're starting a horn set, cross screens for the corners. Kyle against Winston in the corner. Xiaoli struggling all of the preseason, still finding the mark.
We talked about new opportunities for everybody. Xiaoli obviously not satisfied with the amount of playing time he got last year on the Lioneers. Looking for a new start here. Having a rough start so far. He called for the foul on that play.
He did knock down a big 3-pointer in yesterday's game for his 7 points. So far in this one, 0 for 4 from the field. Lost Jackie on that one and gave up the 2.
And that's what we talked about. Essentially, that comes down to a one-on-one game. Again, these Braves having such a deep roster of guys who've been playing on the same team for a while. And again, they're going to have pretty much advantages everywhere down the roster throughout the league. So it's going to come down to how these young Kings play as a team. And again, they continue to find open shots. And putting in some positions to succeed. They're just going to have to make some shots now.
Oh, good adjustment as there's another steal by the Kings. Jayonta pump faking and sidestepping for a 3. Xiaoli, can he knock this one? Yes.
Yeah,
that
great
one was
job.
butter.
Great job rewarding Xiaoli with the deflection on the defensive end, sprinting to the corner. And again, nice up and down right there for Xiaoli.
Shooting the 3 is his strong suit in his career. As Zaisa over the top to the right.
Again, we see that 4-5 pick and roll in the mid-post. Big Z not able to capitalize.
Deep check, no good. Probably seen this a lot in your lifetime, Coach. The landlord dribbling it up.
This seems to be the person who's had the most success getting the ball over half court so far.
Nice. 2-man game, 3-man game. Lewis finding his ISEP.
Yeah, great find by Landlord. Better find by Lewis. Able to find Zaitsev slicing down the lane.
JJ working with Rihal. Also a member of the Cincinnati University Griffins. Kyle rails the 3.
Yeah, nice job right there by Kyle. Landlord not stepping up on the pick and roll. Finding some space at the 3-point line. Kyle, easy walk-up 3. Cutting it to a 9-point game.
That'll be a timeout for the Braves. Their first of the second half. Get another look at the action going on here. That's Xiaoli from the corner. And Kyle with a dribble step up. As we have a little bit too much action by us. The giveaway kind of interrupting the broadcast on the Mandarin side.
Yeah, we talked about these players being able to work through contact. Our broadcasters on the Mandarin side getting slammed in the face by a giveaway from one of the cheerleaders. We may have to get a trainer over here.
You know, these teams are putting in a lot of effort into their training staff, so they can send somebody over.
Yeah, I think they got to put somebody in charge of teaching these cheerleaders to throw a little bit better.
Do you have anybody in mind?
No, you're the baseball guy, Ryan.
I you know, sometimes the baseball guy.
How were you happy to see the Braves win the World Series this year?
I was indifferent, shall we say.
Very political, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
I will say, Dusty Baker, former Giants manager, in some ways disappointed for him. I guess that makes it not impartial anymore.
Yeah. Are there any Taiwanese players on either the Astros or the Braves?
Not on their major league rosters. I'd have to think about their minor league rosters. We're being told the referees are double checking the 2-point or 3-point nature of the last shot. And it is a 3.
All right then.
All right
so
then.
It's still a 9-point game then.
Good job for Kyle not messing up Coach Ben's call there. The Kings apply pressure but leave Josh behind. And Zaitsev right now nursing one of his hands. Kind of got a finger jam there with the defense coming over.
And again, another questionable decision by Josh in the open court. Had the wide open layup. Dished it back to the trailing Big Z and looks like jammed a finger on his right hand. Again, growing pains for everybody and real physical pains for Big Z.
There's a foul against Kyle on Lewis.
And that's the pressure that these shooters put on you. Again, Lewis, after making a couple threes and knowing his reputation, everybody's getting out there, trying to chase him off the 3-point line. That time, Kyle with a little bit too much contact in the air. Lewis at the line for 3.
It was Zaitsev with an apparent finger injury. Degar will take his place. How many times did the ball hit the basket there?
7.
We'll go with 7.
Hey, if it goes in, it's all that matters.
Second one goes down. Degar kind of lost count there. Eager for another board or 2.
No rebounds on Lewis's free throws, Ryan. Degar's got to know that. I'm assuming he shoots 100% from the line, right?
I won't look that up.
He did on that possession.
He's guarding Shali, but given an opportunity, who's seriously trying to go for the dribble move. JJ will try one. No good. I say curious because it looked like he was open on the first look. But nice denial, and Shali gets a steal. There's a missed opportunity. I saw Yuhal wide open running the right side.
Exactly, and that's something that these Kings, I'm sure, will watch in film over this next coming week. And again, that's going to be something that's different for these players. They knowing most coaches coming from overseas are really going to value the role that film can play in teaching. And again, I'm sure after these first 2 games, there's a lot of stuff he'll want to watch and a lot of work for them to do before next weekend's games in Gaucho.
Omar with a dribble and to his college teammate, now pro teammate Yuhal, but blows the push shot. Lewis going with power against Sushin. Easy 2 points.
That's just, we talked about the one-on-one battle. Lewis, experienced champion here in Taiwan, able to just power his way to the basket over the undersized defender.
Shali doing the pick and roll, chair drill, knocks down the mid-range.
Yeah, snaking that pick and roll, getting a little bit of daylight. Nice 4th quarter here for Shali.
Lewis tried to hit the open man, but Yuhal with a deflection.
Yeah, good, great active hands right there from the rookie, as we see Shali snake the pick and roll and hit that little step back. Again, everybody on this roster is just looking for things to build on.
That's an interesting thing. Marshawn said that it'd be good to get film on our own guys and not so much film on the other teams.
That's what a lot of these coaches will say that preseason's about us. We're just trying to figure out what we need to do. We don't need to worry about what the other teams are doing, and especially for Coach Marchand. He's a guy that has seen these guys in film with different teams and at different levels. You see Xiaoli once again create a foul on the break, but again, he wants to see how guys fit in his system and how they can play doing what he wants them to do. And obviously, without the imports being here, you got to kind of, use your imagination a little bit. But again, I'm sure he's just happy to get some film, like you said, and he'll be able to understand how he can use guys and which guys he wants to use.
Maybe he really likes the Kings uniform. So that's what you want to see. KJ in and out.
With the gradient. Is that a word you use with uniform?
I use gradient, but that was does not apply to the Kings jersey right now. Hammer action on the fast break. Omar with a spin leaves it short. Josh, easy with mid-range.
That's what these guards are able to do. They're able to come off on a pick and roll and make one read. And again, they're not the kind of point guard that Lai Ting-en is or Joseph Lin is, not be able to create on the pick and roll for other players. So again, that's something that, if those injuries last a little bit longer, that's something that these Braves are going to have to figure out.
Raising iron is Xiaoli. Braves want to get a last run in. Ray Euros his way to a open lefty finish. Position. Xiaoli on the left side. Wow. Drains that one.
Not the Xiaoli I know. Again, he's made 3 shots here in this fourth quarter. No reaction after any of them.
That's right. He had one okay signal after going 1 for 4 on Saturday. Got a ping pong game going here. Those don't count for additional rebounds, do they, Coach?
No, he already got it and got it popped out. So refs obviously ready for this game to be over.
And one last shot, and
that one probably would have gotten a reaction.
I can believe that. That'll be the final buzzer, 106-93, as a result of the preseason game number 3 of the Plus League 2021-2022 season. So, Coach, let me ask you, besides the basketball, what have you been impressed most with your first experience back at Xingzhuang Gymnasium?
It's just great to see the fans out here. Again, we went through, there was a period 5 or 6 years ago where we had huge crowds like this every day. Again, after a couple of down years, it's just great to see everybody back here supporting Taiwanese basketball, supporting the Kings, and that's what we're excited to see. I'm even more excited to see the turnout next week in Kaohsiung.
Stick around for post-game where we'll hear from a player or staff member from one of these teams. But we thank you fans for tuning in. Wish the Kings well in their new season. They will have the next week off before we see them again in the 2021 Plus League preseason stop in Taipei, as we said. So JJ will be the player interviewed. We'll bring that to you shortly. Thanks to Phil Chen and Dennis Chen, not related to myself, Brian Chen, for joining us in the halftime programming of our broadcast previously. So, 21 points by JJ Chen. Now on screen. Asked about the lack of playing time he had yesterday, but getting a big opportunity
今天因为赛前的时候，念哥也有跟我讲说，今天准备好你要打先发，对，然后他们也。
And JJ expressing that it's actually in the plan for the guys to kind of alter their minutes Saturday to Sunday to spread the load around and get enough reps in as well. Asked about his enjoyment of the experience here with the Kings.
就是太久没在这种比赛，很多的比赛现场比赛了，就非常兴奋。希望之后
JJ saying that it's been a while since they played. It's been a long off season, but he's enjoyed it thoroughly.
目标就是希望教练
Asked about personal goals.
在场上能够做好，然后希望球队能够拿到冠军。对
，JJ gives the very common answer, doing what the coaches want out of him, but going for the title. We'll be back after this. Our last look at Xingzhuang Gymnasium before we head out. Coach Ben, when will we get to hear your commentary next?
Well, it depends where you want to go. If you want to come to my place, you can hear my commentary for every game, as I'm always tuned into Ryan's broadcasts. But if not, I'll be there in Kaohsiung next weekend.
All right, one last look at the team combined stats. The Braves winning this one 106-93. Out-rebounding the Kings by 34. I don't know if we've seen a discrepancy like that, but committing 25 turnovers, so always something to fix if you're a coach, huh? Thanks everybody for watching our broadcast. On behalf of Eddie, Sam, Aaron, everyone who's joined our broadcast, and all the league staff and team personnel, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.